All right, returning to learning continues this week with a look ahead. Now that so many students have started school, parents and educational leaders are starting to ask questions about the future.
Yeah, what will education look like on the other side of this pandemic? 10 TV's Krista Frost talked with experts to find out.
On a bus around 7 and back home by 3. For years, grade school has remained very structured.
The past 2 years in particular have really kind of called us out to be extremely flexible, to be extremely nimble, and to be ready to pivot at a moment's notice.
It's the first thing teachers, parents, and educational leaders like Dr. John Richard, deputy superintendent at the Ohio Department of Education, noticed. Not just in school structure, but in how we learn.
I think we'll always, moving forward, think about, is online actually a better option for some students, not for all, but certainly for some.
That's something Hilliard, mother of 2, Amy Essex Chamberlain, understands very well.
There's a subject that a kid is maybe needing a little bit more time on. When you're working from home and there's no deadline on the assignment within a couple of hours, then you can take all day on that one assignment if you need to.
Her oldest saw great academic success online. Now that student will be back in school with their younger sibling 5 days a week. Chamberlain says she's interested to see how well they transition back to a structured schedule. Another change which could come as a result of the pandemic, measuring academic success.
In 6th grade, my youngest increased their language arts state testing score by 70% over the course of a couple of months. And I said, what happened? How did you just get such a low score the first time? And then just a few months later, you're up in the 90th percentile. And she says, well, you said state tests weren't that big of a deal, so I just kind of circled C.
So are there other options?
We were talking earlier about career technical education and how in many ways, although there's still testing involved, much of it is hands-on and it's demonstrations and it's presentations. That's also very much a part of what happens in real life.
The only issue,
how you can maintain consistency for, data collection purposes, because it can vary so much from, one student or even one classroom to another.
It's something leaders are thinking about, but something they've already begun to improve: social emotional wellness.
And so I think moving forward, our educators will be much more in tune than they ever have been in identifying some of those indicators of social or emotional distress. And so I think being more in tune has also, in a sense, forced us to improve the partnerships we may have already had and probably form new partnerships with organizations and community resources.
A focus many districts plan on keeping around for years to come. Reporting in Columbus, Krista Frost, 10 TV News.
Now, Dr. Richard says he has seen many districts hire more support for students when it comes to social emotional wellness. Schools are also working on finding the right support to focus on student attendance and how that relates to their mental well-being.